Hi Gemini, welcome to your January 2021 reading. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk some astrology really quick before we get into the cards. So Saturn and Jupiter are now in Aquarius. We had that great conjunction last week. I'm doing this reading the day before the Cancer full moon. So there's a lot of emphasis for you guys on the information that you're gathering. There's a lot of emphasis on the values, like the way that you are really seeing things in life right now are completely different, 100%, probably 180 degrees, like completely shifted from this time last year. So if you really look back at how your story played out this year and all of the things that you had to release and all of the things that you had to let go of, it really was kind of a culmination in order for you to grow, in order for you to evolve, and in order for you to change and grow. And the more you have allowed yourself to do that, the easier it's sort of become. Instead of getting in your own way, you're learning the lessons, right? You're really paying attention to that stuff that you're like, no, I know that I'm right on this. And then when you realize you weren't right, you shifted, right? You shifted your perspective. You allowed yourself to look at things in a different way. And I think that that's going to continue on into 2021 as you realize the kind of position that you're in. And focusing on the future and focusing on long-term goals and focusing on, education and learning new things and just, creating your own sense of reality instead of letting the world tell you what that is supposed to look like for yourself. So it's very interesting how things are going to play out for you guys in January, but I think more often than not, you're really learning about what your beliefs are, what you want to believe, and you're like, this is how I feel about this subject. This is how I see this subject. And you're not really backing down this time. Like you're really allowing yourself to put yourself into situations that aren't necessarily comfortable, but you know that they have to be taken care of. You see? And it's just for your betterment. It's just for your own personal evolving, right? Like the way that you're evolving and you're moving forward. So let's take a look at your cards and see what kind of energies we have going for you. Really trusting your own inner guide in January is going to be a big thing for you. Especially because the energy will pick up, it might be a little bit more difficult than any of us really, want to deal with after coming out of 2020. But there's a restructuring of sorts that's happening, and it's actually creating a little bit more power for you guys to see things in different ways. So the first card that came out was the High Priestess. So your intuition is really, really, really on point. This being the first card, that's the biggest part of your energy. So your intuition is really, really on point in January. You just have to be able to trust your own instincts. And it's not going to be that easy. Like the universe is like, oh, okay, so you're going to trust your own instincts, but look at all of this really fast-paced energy that's coming in. Look at all of this chaos that's being ensued. Look at all these people that want to argue with you. Look at all these tests that I'm putting in your way. And really, it's only to help you get a little bit stronger. You could be dealing with a Pisces or a Leo energy too. If you're dealing with a Pisces or Leo energy, they do not seem very happy. So if you're not wanting to get into arguments with people in January, maybe don't let them in your space. Maybe take a different route. Maybe allow yourself to see things from their point of view and not necessarily always you needing to be right. And it's not that I think that you guys need to be right all the time. Some of you do. We're ruled by Mercury, so I get it, right? I'm a Virgo, so I get being ruled by Mercury and having all of the information. Like we can't help just know things. Like we just know stuff. Can't help it sometimes. Doesn't make you a bad person. It's just if people like don't offer your guidance or advice without people actually saying, hey, what do you think about ... right? That's kind of one of those lessons that I've always had to learn myself. I know Virgos are worse at it. I promise I get it. I understand. I'm looking at myself as well. The Two of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Seven of Cups. Heavy, heavy Pisces energy here. So if you're dealing with a Pisces, they're all sorts of confusing. This is also very reminiscent of the Neptune squaring the North Node, which is in Gemini. Neptune is in Pisces right now. Neptune rules Pisces. And while it's squaring that Gemini North Node, things don't, like, not everything actually is true, real. Not everything that we're getting, all of the information that we're getting right now, you really have to be discerning, because you don't know if it's going to be accurate or if it's just people talking out of their asses. I've had that several times. I've had to correct people a couple of times, because with astrology, it's just either right or it's wrong. There's no like, you know, like there are different interpretations for things, but like I've had people come to me talking about this being the age of Aquarius and that it's really great to be out of Pisces season, and I'm like, none of that is correct. And then they got mad at me because I said that they weren't right. So people are coming out all over the place with information, with bad information, with inaccurate information, with all of the things, and you might feel like you want to correct them in some ways, or it may even be that you're just like, I don't even want to deal. Like, it feels like here you're just like, I have so much going on. Like, I'm just going to stay in my own lane. I'm going to look at things my way. I'm going to look at the stuff that's happening on my end, and I'm going to let the rest of that go, right? That Two of Swords there, it's like, I don't even want to, like, I have decisions I need to make because I have a lot going on. And I think that that's really where your intuition is going to have to be. You're going to have to rely on your intuition more than that logical side that you know usually has the answers and the information, but this time it's your intuition that wants you to pay attention. Yeah, something was tickling my arm. It's like a hair. Okay, so let's see. High Priestess. Whoa. All right. Oh, awesome. So there's a story that's ending here for you. There's a chapter that's ending here for you, and you sort of felt it coming with that intuitive. This could be a chapter ending with a Pisces too, but the World on the Six of Wands, you're coming out golden on the other side of all of this. And that's what I mean. This is exactly what I meant by, you know, when everybody else is losing their shit, you guys are just kind of taking a step back and looking at things. You're just observing. You're being the observer this month. And the reason why you're being the observer is because you know you have enough to focus on for yourself that you don't need to worry about the peanut gallery. You don't need to worry about the naysayers. You don't need to worry about the haters that are out there. It's time for you to step into your winning, you know, get up on that pedestal, accept the trophy. Here we go, right? Knight of Swords. So when everybody else is losing their shit, here's Gemini saying, losing their shit also. Man, I was really pushing for you guys in a big way. Like, no, don't fall for it. I get it though. There's a lot coming at you. There's a lot coming at you. There's a lot of information coming at you. There's a lot of energy coming at you. There's a lot of chaotic stuff coming at you. Don't let those people, this is the thing, is like when you are sitting within your own personal power and you're allowing yourself to see things from other people's perspectives, you're allowing yourself to see things from bigger point of views, that Eight of Swords, that doesn't need to happen. The Eight of Swords is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. And if you just took the blindfold off, right? You have both of the cards with the blindfolds. You don't need all of the information to decide to figure out what it is that you want for yourself. You don't need all the information. What you do need is your own inner strength, your own story within. So let's see what the Strength card represents for you, Gemini. There's a whole bunch that just want to pop out, but it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Oh, there we go. Right. And here's the thing is being strong enough to walk away from that fantasy or from the story that could have been holding you back, right? That 8 of Cups on the 2 of Cups with the Strength card. There's a difference in the kind of people that you want to have around you. And I think with that 8 of Cups, you allowing yourself to walk away from the story that used to be, that's actually gaining more strength for you. When you surrender, when you allow yourself to surrender, Gemini, you gain so much more strength. And I think that that's probably one of those hurdles, you know, allowing yourself to surrender, allowing yourself to walk away from that storyline that kind of held you hostage for a really long time. Could have to do with another person. It could just be a story that you know, the way that you wanted that relationship to look, the way that you wanted the 2 of Cups to look. But you have to see this 2 of Cups, Gemini, is 2 people that have full cups coming together and then intertwining their energy and creating a whole new energy. Right? So that's the story of the 2 of Cups, and that's what's changing for you. Your whole idea around what it means to be in a partnership with somebody. It's about both of you being on the same level. Both of you bringing something to the relationship instead of you carrying all of it. And even if one chapter is closing so that another can open, there's always going to be that discomfort, that uncomfortable level of existence that we have in between the ending and the beginning of a story, a cycle, right, that goes on in our life. There's that discomfort right in the middle that we have to get readjusted to, that we have to stick to our guns, that we have to say, I know what it is that I want, and I'm not going to stray from that process, because why would I? Why would I allow myself to sleep on what it is that I truly want to have in my life just because of a story I told myself for a very long time? And the release and the freedom that you guys are providing for yourselves by closing out that chapter, by closing out that story, by releasing that kind of energy. I know that you can't necessarily see it right now because you're blindfolded. Because you're not really, and part of you needs to be blindfolded, because within that blindfolding, you're becoming illuminated, right? But during that discomfort, during that uncomfortable part of the story where you're done with one cycle and you're stepping fully into your power into another one, there's that discomfort that we have to release. And here's the thing is, the more you hold out hope for that illusion, that manifesting illusion that you wanted in the past, the 4 of Pentacles on the 9 of Cups, the more you hold on to the old storyline, the harder it's going to be for you to move forward. So this is that releasing process. And the recognition that holding your own isn't necessary. Like, you don't have to be so strong all the time. You know, it's okay if you just kind of take a moment to process things. It's okay if you're a little bit confused. It's okay if you have to like take a beat and look at things in a different perspective and allow yourself to say, all right, well, I guess this is the direction I'm going in now. I'm not really 100% comfortable with it, but this is the way that I feel like I need to go in. And that's okay. It's okay to not to not completely know. Hold on a second. It's okay to 100% not completely know, but the universe is really, really taking care of you right now, Gemini, with Judgment on the Hanged Man. So allowing yourself to see things in a different perspective, taking the opportunity to get quiet. I know I say that and I cringe inside. It's like, how do you get quiet in a world full of chaos? It is possible. It is possible. We actually do that often in the memberships. We get quiet, take some moments, do meditations, stuff like that. If you haven't checked out our memberships yet, we would love to have you there. It's a lot of fun, and all of the forecast readings for 2021 are going to be on there. All of the 6-month forecast readings. Okay, so let's see. 7 of Cups. You have a lot going on, and when you have so much stuff going on and you have all of these energies coming towards you, it's a little bit overwhelming. It's a little bit overwhelming, but despite all of that, I think towards the end of the month, and when you really just focus on your own energy and you stop focusing on everybody else's energy, the balance will come in. You may be dealing with a Libra that's a little bit confusing, or it could just be that, you know, you want balance a lot, or maybe you were once confused and now you're a little bit more balanced. But I do feel like towards the end of the month, we're going to be starting a Mercury retrograde pre-shadow period. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think it starts on the 14th. I'll double check. I'll look into that. I meant to research that last night and I totally forgot. So, but the pre-shadow period starts mid-January for Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde starts on January 30th, and we'll talk a little bit more about that for your February forecast as well, because it will affect you. But there's definitely a balance that you're seeking. And a general curiosity, and a general curiosity to find out information and level yourself up. But again, we have to remember that there are stories, right? That there are chapters that are closing in our life right now, and just sort of accepting that challenge so that we can move forward. If you're dealing with an earth sign that's ignoring you or moving kind of slowly, I sort of, and especially if it's a Taurus, they're a little bit confused about the direction they're going in right now as well. I think earth signs right now are trying to recuperate after having Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn for the last year, Saturn there for the last 3 years. So it's almost like everybody's engines are just starting to go again. So I feel like patience in everything, and creating, like, the more safety you create for yourself, the less that you have to worry about anybody else. You probably will hear from this earth sign, possibly a Taurus, in a more diminished kind of capacity. They're healing too. And it's okay. The Ace of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. It's okay if you guys have to heal together. That's also fine. Just remember that everybody's on a different journey, and the one that you need to focus on is yours, and everything else is a bonus. Everything else is a gift that comes to you. But there's definitely the closing out of a cycle, the ending of a chapter, and you walking away from an old belief system, an old narrative, and an old belief system really is what it feels like. Find that peace within the chaos this month. Find that peace, because the only place that you're going to be able to find it is within yourself. Everybody else is going to be losing their minds. You guys will be chill as long as you don't let your environment define how you feel. Okay? If you missed that manifesting workshop in November and December, I would love to see you guys on January 30th. Yes, I'm doing it on the first day of Mercury retrograde because I'm a rebel. But yeah, so it's going to be amazing. It's an amazing workshop. All the tools that I have used to create the life that I love and deserve and am really excited about. And memberships and my books are open for January. If you guys would like to have an astrology reading, a tarot reading, Akashic Records reading, Reiki session, all of it's available. The information is in the description box to schedule with me. I love you guys. Have a wonderful January. Thanks for letting me be a part of your journey. Bye.